Chapter 41 The Kobold Tribe is coming menacingly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Maid, it's just a garbage island country, how can it be so ambitious? With the lords of our dragon kingdom here, you sons of bitches, rest and dominate in the land of redemption. Japanese lords, you'd better be calm and don't act rashly without orders from our senior officials in the United States. i.e., the great United States and the lords of the Japanese Empire will definitely obey your orders. Damn it, the Japanese lord is so groveling, he is like a dog from the United States. Kong sang Smita, the beast tide is coming in 3 or 4 days. I am the lord of the great cold underworld. Who can come to save me? We, the Aeson Kingdom, must rise up this year and catch up with the Dragon Kingdom. Let the beast tide come more violently. We in the Bear Country are a fighting nation and are not afraid of any battle. Come on, lords of the Dragon Kingdom, stand up for me and occupy the top 500 on the list for me. During the novice period, only the World Channel is enabled on the chat page. Many new lords can only convey their words to the outside world through here. As for the private chat channel, it will not be opened until the beast wave is over. Therefore, during the 7 days after arriving in the land of redemption for the first time, every new lord will not be able to have private chats with friends and partners they know. Naturally, there was no way to seek shelter from other lords. Only when the novice period is over and the private chat channel is open can the two parties communicate with each other about their positions and have substantive contact. Of course, there is another reason. Every lord in the novice period is working hard to develop the territory to withstand the impact of the final beast wave. Where is the leisure time to pay attention to other people? At this moment, looking at the dense chat messages, Subai felt that the lords of Japan and Aeson were really arrogant. He also wants to surpass the Dragon Kingdom, and he also wants to dominate the land of redemption. Each and every one of them was so awesome that they almost reached the sky. As long as I'm here, no matter whether it's surpassing the Dragon Kingdom or dominating the land of redemption, you can't even think about it. Subai snorted coldly. It has a powerful interstellar Zerg race, as well as the unique mark of the ultimate mythical lord after upgrade. He has the confidence to become bigger and stronger and dominate everything. Moreover, when Subai came to the land of redemption for the first time, he was so lucky that he was possessed by the European Emperor. The first time you pray to the creator of the Zerg, you will receive a buff such as 10 times the critical strike. Therefore, in the future, there is no problem in crushing the Japanese, Aeson, the Hanming, and even the lords of the United States. At this time, Subai looked around the territory. I saw 2 worker bees and 1 young worker bee. They had already taken action and began to go out to search for and collect resources. Not bad, very diligent. That he nodded with satisfaction. His eyes continued to scan. 50 springtails were lying on the ground, 16 hydralisks clustered together, facing east, basking in the sun. As for Kerrigan, she raised her long, straight and powerful legs and began her morning exercise. At this time, the system's mechanical synthesized sound suddenly sounded in my ears. Tip. The materials for upgrading the evolution chamber are ready. Do you want to upgrade? You must upgrade to see what new evolutionary sequences you can unlock. Subai did not hesitate and immediately chose to upgrade. The hardened carapace upgraded by the last springtail gave it powerful defense. If you face a fierce battle in the future, you can greatly reduce the degree of injury and survive longer. Therefore, it is very necessary to upgrade the evolution chamber and unlock new evolution sequences. Wood 1000. Stone 1000. Iron block 1000. Biomass 200. The dark purple evolution chamber began to surge. The size became larger and more wriggling epidermis grew. 1 minute later, congratulations to Lord Subai, the evolution cavity has been successfully upgraded. The evolution chamber level reaches LV2. The new evolutionary sequence has been opened, please check it yourself. Subai couldn't wait and opened the evolution sequence. Evolution sequence, Hydralisk. Deep groove spine, improve the genetic sequence of the Hydralisk to strengthen the bone plate under its carapace, make the bone needles grow sharper, and increase the attack range by 50%. Need. Biomass 400. Snake fangs 30. The deep-grooved spines increase the Hydralisk's range by half. This is quite awesome. Subai's face looked happy. the attack range of long-range arms is one of the key factors that determines their combat effectiveness. The longer range allows the hydralisk to strike at the enemy in advance, under the attack of the powerful armor-piercing needles. The enemy may have fallen on the charging road before they can even rush in front of them. In addition, the hydralisk's attack range has been increased, and it can also exert a more powerful effect when fighting. With springtails, now, 400 biomass has been saved. As for the 30 snake teeth, it seems that we have to look for snake monsters and kill them before they have a chance to explode. I haven't encountered snake monsters in the past few days. Where should I look for them? Subai murmured to himself, with a hint of thinking in his eyes. Just when he was deep in thought, on a piece of land 10 kilometers away from the territory, there is a tribe of kobolds living here. Both the area and the size of the houses are much larger than the previous kobold village. A kobold strode through the gate into the tribe. He looked flustered and hurriedly ran into the big tent in the middle. Oh no! Sir Chief, a kobold village in the south was destroyed by troops led by foreign human lords. More than 70 kobolds in the village were brutally slaughtered. The kobold fell to his knees and spoke rapidly. What? The village was massacred. The kobold chief sitting above him was furious. He slammed the table hard with a murderous look in his eyes. These foreign forces, human lords, are evil and barbaric, treacherous and ruthless. The blood shed by our fellow tribesmen has dyed this land red, and we must avenge ourselves. Send my order and gather all the warriors in the tribe to take revenge with me. The kobolds at the bottom began to raise their arms and shout wildly, exuding a crazy aura from all over their bodies. They waved their weapons and shouted. Eye for eye. Revenge for the same kind. Kill humans. Kill the outsiders. Immediately, the entire kobold tribe became excited. A large number of kobold soldiers began to gather, distribute weapons, and put on cloth armor. Among them, in addition to the kobold warriors, there are also some unique kobolds mixed in. He was tall, 4 meters tall, covered in hard armor and holding a huge hammer. They lined up in a not very neat formation, standing outside the big tent. The kobold chief looked around, his eyes bursting with fighting spirit. Warriors of the kobold clan, follow me on an expedition to flatten human territory and avenge the death of the kobolds. Kill! 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 All the kobolds were high-spirited and holding weapons, striding towards Subai's territory. Chapter 42 The Interstellar Insect Queen, Healing Fluid. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Subai naturally had no idea about this. At this moment, he was still thinking about snake monsters and snake fangs. At this moment, the system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded in my ears. Tip, the number of free recruitments in the barracks has been refreshed. Current free times, 1. Look for snake monsters slowly. You will always encounter them. Now recruit soldiers first. Subai moved his steps and stood in front of the hatchery. Say silently, start recruiting. The hatchery began to throb, like a living organism. I hope today's free recruitment can bring some surprises. It would be great if there was a new interstellar Zerg unit. Of course, if the recruited troops are hydralisks, that would also be good, because the hatchery can now consume souls and recruit springtails independently. The long-range unit hydralisk is still in demand. The waiting time is always long. Although only a minute passed, it seemed like an hour. Next moment, a huge gash opened. In the hatchery's skeleton, a huge creature walked out of it, at least one size larger than a hydralisk. Its limb structure is similar to that of a spider, with 8 long legs. At the same time, it also has the characteristics of insects. The skin is dark purple, and the body structure is in the shape of complex links. Each link is covered with a carapace that shines with cold light. The head has a pair of huge compound eyes and 2 tentacle-like organs. I'm throwing a creature that's even bigger than a hydralisk. If compared with springtails, it appears to be even larger. Just looking at the appearance, it's really good. Subai concentrated his attention and stared at the brand new soldier in front of him. Lines of information popped up. Insect Queen, level, LV4. Race, Interstellar Zerg. Quality, the ultimate myth. Weapons, claws/melee, acid spine/ranged attack. Talent, mitogenase. This is a special protein with catalytic ability. It is precisely because of its existence that the insect queen has the ability to heal. Skill, healing feeding liquid. The queen can secrete a thick protein liquid substance to stimulate cell growth. After spreading this fluid substance on the wounds of friendly biological units, the damaged tissue will recover quickly within a few seconds. Combat power, level 4. Loyalty, 100. Introduction. The position of the insect queen in the interstellar Zerg is a supporting auxiliary unit with weak combat ability and better at defense and assisting friendly forces. Note. Outside the range of the creep, the movement speed of the insect queen will be greatly reduced. Queen of Worms. It turns out to be a unit with healing capabilities. This is perfect. Now, the mix of military units in the territory is more complete. Melee combat, long-range attack, heroes, and auxiliary units, when combined in this way, we will definitely be able to unleash extremely strong combat effectiveness. Subai was immediately ecstatic, with a thick smile on his face. Like the Hydralisk, the Queen is a unit capable of both close combat and ranged attack. Although the introduction says that the Insect Queen is a supporting auxiliary unit with weak combat ability and is good at assisting friendly forces, but Subai felt that with its sharp claws and strong acid spines, its strength should be extraordinary. After all, no matter what, the combat power is level 4. But, with Springtails and Hydralisks around, there is no need for the Queen to fight. In the future, with the skill of healing feed, the interstellar Zerg troops will have a more sustained combat capability. Yesterday, Subai was still worried about how to recover if Springtails and Hydralisks were injured. Who knows, whatever you think will come to you. Recruit a unit with healing capabilities today. Moreover, the Insect Queen's healing fluid skill is also very powerful and can restore damaged tissue in just a few seconds. From now on, I am no longer afraid of dangerous battles. Even if Springtails and Hydralisks are accidentally injured, they can recover quickly with the Queen's healing and return to battle again. As a result, the combat effectiveness of the entire territory will undoubtedly increase once again. The system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded again. Congratulations to Lord Subai, your newly recruited unit Insect Queen has been strengthened to the mythical level, and its number has been increased to 5. Immediately afterwards, 4 more queens walked out of the hatchery. 5 insect queens, not bad. Subai nodded with satisfaction. At this time, he noticed that the speed of the insect queen was indeed slower. Although it has 8 long spider legs, every lift and fall is very slow. Holy crap. If you're so slow, you're really not good at fighting. Subai couldn't help but say, being slow and moving is tantamount to being a living target, facing the enemy's attack. There is no way to dodge or escape. Moreover, if you take the queen out to fight, it will also greatly slow down the Springtails and Hydralisks. In this way, it will affect the overall combat effectiveness. Only on the creep carpet will the insect queen move faster. Kerrigan stepped forward and said, Serpent. What is this? Subai squinted his eyes slightly, and also noticed the last line of the insect queen's attribute information. Outside the range of the carpet, the insect queen's movement speed will be greatly reduced. At this time, the system prompt information automatically appears in front of you. Tip: all interstellar Zerg ground troops move faster on the carpet than on ordinary ground. This is because there is a series of microfilament substances on the carpet, allowing them to glide on it without stepping on it. Break this sticky substance. Insect queens are no exception. They move faster on the creep. However, their legs have been specially modified, so their movement on the ground outside the creep is restricted and their speed is relatively slow. Tip: after upgrading the hatch creep tumors in the evolution chamber, the queen can produce carpet tumors, extending the range of the carpet and greatly enhancing mobility. I see. Subai suddenly realized the function of the carpet is to increase the movement speed of the interstellar Zerg. However, even on ordinary ground, the speed of Springtails is as fast as lightning. If you run on the creep carpet, wouldn't it be so fast that you disappear? The next task comes again, which is to continue to upgrade the evolution chamber and unlock the evolution sequence of the insect queen. Immediately afterwards, Subai chose the manor, recruited a young worker bee again, and ordered it to go out to search and collect resources. There are still 2,180 souls, and we can recruit some Springtails. Choose to recruit, quantity is 20. Sol 2000.20 springtails jumped out of the hatchery one after another. Go out. Look for snake-like beasts. Sue by led Kerrigan, 70 springtails, and 16 hydralisks to leave the territory in a mighty manner. As for the insect queen, her movement speed was too slow, so she stayed behind to guard her home. 10 minutes later, snake beasts were not found, but at the end of the road, densely packed kobold troops appeared. Chapter 43 If a dog offends me, eradicate it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kobold again. Subai murmured to himself, as far as the eye can see, the number is probably around 300, moreover, there are some very tall kobolds among them, different from the kobold slaves and kobold warriors encountered before. This kind of kobold is 4 meters tall, covered in hard armor, and holding a huge hammer in both hands. It looks quite intimidating. You really stabbed the doghouse and got into trouble with the kobolds, Subai couldn't help blurting out. Lord, these kobolds are hostile to us and are coming here. Kerrigan narrowed her eyes slightly, her eyes clear and steady. It's probably because the kobold village was wiped out yesterday, which attracted new enemies. As he spoke, Subai shouted, Springtails, hydralisks, get ready for battle. Roar, .70 Springtails roared. He jumped a few steps forward and lined up in front of Subai. 16 hydralisks followed closely behind, standing tall, their bone plates opened, revealing extremely sharp bone needles. The kobold troops gradually approached. Only then can we see clearly. About half of them were kobold slaves holding wooden sticks, the smaller half were kobold warriors holding maces. As for the 4-meter-tall kobold wearing armor and wielding a huge hammer, there were 4 of them. 1 inch longer, 1 inch stronger. It seems that these big guys are a bit difficult to deal with. Subai moved his eyes to check their information. Dog-headed giant, quality, excellent. Level, LV6. Introduction. The dog-headed giants, who are more than 4 meters tall, are behemoths in the kobold clan. They are born with great strength. After putting on armor, they suddenly become the most arrogant warriors in the clan. Excellent quality, level LV6, still has some combat effectiveness. Subai murmured to himself, a dignified look flashed in his eyes. Strategically, we must despise our opponents, but tactically, we must pay attention to our opponents. If there are only these 4 dog-headed giants, then of course there is no need to worry. With 70 springtails, it's enough to swamp it. However, these 4 kobold giants were surrounded by more than 4 kobold slaves and kobold warriors. In this way, we have many enemies and few, so we need to deal with it carefully. They are all just chickens and dogs, nothing to be afraid of. Kerrigan's eyes flickered, and a powerful majesty emanated from her eyes as they opened and closed. Hearing this, Subai opened his eyes and felt a strong sense of security in his heart. Queen of Blades. Really great love. No matter what situation you encounter, you are always very domineering. It seems that with her by your side, any enemy is just a weakling and worthless. Well said. It's just a kobold, there's nothing to worry about. Subai laughed loudly, and fighting spirit burst out in his eyes. It is a good thing that you are numerous. Gather together to destroy them together. If you don't have to kill them one by one, not to mention the effort, you won't be able to save a few resources. At this time, the kobold army stopped. A kobold wearing a strong suit and holding a fist with a fist came out. He had a loud voice and shouted, Evil human lord, why do you want to destroy our kobold village? Kobold chief, quality, excellent. Level, LV8. Introduction, proficient in fighting, with outstanding combat power, he is the leader among the kobolds. He has certain management capabilities and can independently control a kobold tribe. As predicted, he came to seek revenge. Subai sneered and shouted. If the dog doesn't offend me, I won't offend the dog. If a dog offends me, cut it off and eradicate it. I'm sorry, you kobolds have offended me, and there is only one fate. That means death. Hearing this, Kerrigan nodded slightly, his eyes flashing with brilliance. Brave and fearless, decisive in killing, this kind of lord is what she admires and likes. Evil human beings, the kobold clan will punish your evil. The kobold chief shouted, raising his arms high, and then lowering them heavily. The whole army attacks. More than 300 kobold slaves and kobold warriors roared, raised their weapons, and charged forward. The 4 kobold giants stayed put, guarding both sides of the kobold chief. Hydralisk, fire bone needles. Springtail, don't move yet. Subai's eyes were sharp and he said quickly, the enemy is still hundreds of meters away, so first consume a few waves remotely and then let the springtails charge. This can also reduce casualties. The 16 hydralisk's muscles bulged out and they shot out sharp armor-piercing needles at an astonishing speed. Whoosh whoosh, each hydralisk shot 3 times in a row, a total of 48 armor-piercing needles, flying forward. Immediately afterwards, a chi-chi-chi sound sounded. More than 10 kobold slaves and 5 kobold warriors were pierced by sharp armor-piercing needles. They vomited blood and fell to the ground. Hydralisk did not stop and launched 2 rounds of long-range strikes again. Whoosh whoosh. What? A large number of screams sounded. More than 30 kobolds fell on the charging road. At this moment, the distance between the 2 sides has shortened to 50 meters. The hideous and ugly face of the kobold came into Subai's eyes very clearly. Springtails, attack. Leave 10 of them as a reserve team, stay by my side. Subai quickly issued the order. The reason why 10 springtails are left is as a new force. It was because the 4 kobold giants and the kobold chief on the opposite side had not launched an attack yet. Roar. 60 springtails stepped forward with 4 hooves, scythes on their backs raised high, sharp fangs spread, and rushed forward, between the electric light and flint. The 2 sides collided together, like a cavalry charge. The more than 20 kobolds in the first row were instantly knocked away by springtails. The hardened carapace on the outside greatly enhances the springtail's defense. The Queen of Blades' talent, Heart of the Zerg, increases the combat effectiveness of Zerglings by 20%. Therefore, although the number of kobold slaves and kobold warriors is large, they have no advantage at all. Hydralisk, join the fight. Subai gave a low drink. As soon as the words fell, 16 hydralisks twisted their bodies and entered the battlefield. The pair of huge 3-edged scythes on the forelimbs were raised high and chopped into pieces the wooden clubs of the kobold slaves and the maces of the kobold warriors. In an instant, the balanced situation was broken. The kobolds suffered heavy casualties and began to retreat. Damn it! You can't lose this battle. Coathead giant, come on. The kobold chief's face was cold, with murderous intent flashing in his eyes. As ordered, 4 dog-headed giants carried huge hammers and rushed towards the battlefield ahead. At the same time, the kobold chief rushed out, detoured from the side, and aimed directly at Subai behind him. Catch the thief first. As long as we kill this human lord, his troops will naturally disperse without attacking. Chapter 44. This battle was so enjoyable. So enjoyable. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The other side, Subai looked at the 4 attacking dog-headed giants and quickly issued an order. Reserve team, attack. Stop the progress of the dog-headed giants and slow down their speed. Roar. The 10 springtails were ready to attack, roared, and ran forward quickly, because he was worried that these 10 springtails would not be able to completely defeat the dog-headed giant. Subai gave the order to stop him. Rather than fighting. Kill 1,000 enemies and lose 800, we can't do this kind of losing business. As long as these 10 springtails can slow down the kobold giants, they will not be able to join the battlefield immediately. Thus, the remaining springtails and hydralisks can wipe out the remaining kobold slaves and kobold warriors on the field. Then he freed his hands and attacked the dog-headed giant together. In this way, not only can victory be guaranteed, but the casualty ratio can also be greatly reduced. At this moment, the kobold chief clasped his fist and pointed at the tiger, running quickly, his eyes flashing with a cold light. The death of a large number of kobold slaves and kobold warriors has made him very angry. Even if this human lord is killed and his troops are defeated, the kobold tribe's vitality has been severely damaged, and its overall strength has plummeted. It is very likely to be attacked by other forces. Therefore, at this moment, the kobold chief has only one thought in his mind. Taking advantage of the weak defense around the human lord, he quickly carried out a beheading operation. Lord, the enemy wants to sneak attack from the side. Kerrigan's voice was cold and she spoke quickly. Subai turned his head and took a closer look. In the front right, the kobold chief took long strides and charged towards him at top speed. This kobold is quite intelligent. He wants to carry out a beheading operation while the springtails and hydralisks are not around. While speaking, Subai held the semi-automatic pistol in his waist tightly in his hand. Today is already the 4th day of coming to the land of redemption, but this weapon specially gifted by the military region has not yet worked once. It is better to choose a day than to hit it. Just give this kobold chieftain a try. Subai turned off the safety bolt and held the gun with both hands. The muzzle of the black hole was aimed at the front right. Pull the trigger. Bang bang bang. 0.3 bullets were fired in a row. A moving target is difficult to hit. 2 bullets missed. The last shot was shot towards the kobold chief's right chest. However, what happened next shocked Subai. I saw the kobold chief's figure flashing rapidly, his right fist striking out like lightning, and his finger hitting the bullet, causing its trajectory to deviate. Holy crap! Is a semi-automatic pistol so useless? Subai couldn't help but shook his head. A kobold chief of excellent quality and level LV8 can easily deflect bullet attacks. It seems that this semi-automatic pistol can only deal with beasts or monsters below level 5 at most. At the same time, the kobold chief looked excited, with a hint of ecstasy in his eyes. This human lord is so weak. Killing him would definitely be easy. Thinking of this, the kobold chief speeded up again and attacked forward. Quickly. Lord, your queen will protect your safety. Kerrigan smiled until she had dimples. Immediately, he bent his knees slightly and rushed out like an arrow from the string. Between the electric light and flint, he had already reached the front of the kobold chieftain. Court death. The kobold chief roared angrily, pointed his fist at the tiger, and punched it out suddenly. Kerrigan's expression was grim, and she swung out her razor claws heavily. Boom! The two collide. The kobold chief's tiger's mouth trembled slightly, and he took 3 steps back before dispelling the powerful impact. Kerrigan continues her attack. Leap into mid-air, bone wings raised high. Kinetic impact. A dark purple spiritual light group condensed and formed, flying forward at an extremely fast speed. The kobold chief had no time to dodge. The right shoulder was blown to pieces. There was a flash of fear in his eyes. He moved his feet and retreated continuously, trying to escape from the battle. No one can escape from me. Kerrigan spoke loudly and looked down at all things with pride. The bone wings vibrated at extremely high speeds, friction with the air at high speed, and bursts of air-piercing sounds erupted, pushing Kerrigan's body. He dived forward from mid-air. The next second, Kerrigan landed firmly, and her bone wings swept across, flashing with a cold light. Laugh! The kobold chief was cut into 2 pieces, his blood spilled into the sky, and he died instantly. When Subai, who was not far away, saw this scene, his mouth opened into a big circle, and he couldn't close it for a long time. The Queen of Blades is so strong. The kobold chief with excellent quality and level 8 was killed easily. It has to be said that groups of soldiers and huge armies are extremely powerful, but top-notch tyrannical combat power is the real deterrent. At this moment, the kobold slaves and kobold warriors were dead and wounded. A large number of springtails and hydralisks shifted their targets and began to surround the 4 dog-headed giants. Kerrigan sprinted out and joined the fray. His eyes lit up, he pushed with his palm, and several psychic shock waves shot out from his body. The kobold giant is wielding a huge hammer to resist the attack of the hydralisk's bone needles and the claws of the springtails. There was no defense at all against the incoming psychic shock wave. Bang 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 bang! The arms of the 4 dog-headed giants were hit by the psychic shock wave. The weapons in their hands fell to the ground in pain. In an instant, springtails swarmed over it, swamping it. The 4 dog-headed giants were killed immediately. At this point, the battle is over. Seeing the corpses of kobolds all over the ground, but not a single corpse of the interstellar Zerg, Subai sighed. This battle was so enjoyable. It was so enjoyable, that this complete victory was not only due to the powerful combat power of the springtails and hydralisks, but also relied on Kerrigan's thunder attack. Otherwise, the kobold chief and the 4 kobold giants would have to spend a lot of effort to kill them. The system prompt message popped up in front of my eyes. Soul of the kobold chief. Quantity. 1. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 45. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of Souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 450, soul of the dog-headed giant. Quantity, for. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 100, congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 1000, soul of the kobold warrior. Quantity, 100. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 500, congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 5000, soul of the kobold slave. Quantity, 200. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 400, congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 4000. Fuck. Tens of thousands of souls. It's developed. In this way, we can recruit a large number of springtails. Subai was immediately ecstatic, with a thick smile on his face. Chapter 45, Huge Harvest and Medal Award. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System prompts continue to pop up. Tip, explode the item and get 25 primary energy gems. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of primary energy gems obtained has increased by 10 times. Elementary energy gem plus 250. Tip, if you get 4 hammers, do you want to disassemble them? The Zerg soldiers have no need for such weapons. Subai chose to decompose. Automatic decomposition, iron plus 100. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of iron blocks obtained has increased by 10 times. Iron plus 1000. Not bad. Subai nodded. The number of primary energy gems harvested this time was finally larger. The 4 decomposed hammers can be regarded as mosquito meat, which is better than nothing. However, in Subai's eyes, mosquito meat is a huge resource for other new lords and should not be missed. Wooden sticks and maces have not been broken down by the system, possibly because the quality is too low to meet the minimum resource requirements. Then, Subai ordered the springtails to carry the body of the kobold. The quantity was quite large, and it took a full 4 trips to complete the project. Tip, the evolution chamber decomposes into biomass 300. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the biomass obtained has increased by 10 times. Biomass plus 3000. 3000 biomass, so cool, that the corners of Subai's mouth raised, a thick smile on his face. Now, you no longer have to worry about upgrading the evolution chamber or the upgrade options of the evolution sequence. It has to be said that resources will come faster if a large number of local forces are wiped out at once, especially the soul. With the 10 times buff gain, it is like riding a rocket, and the inventory keeps rising. At this time, the system mechanical lifting sound sounded again. Tip, congratulations to Lord Subai, your hero Queen of Blades has reached full experience and her level has been upgraded to LV3. Tip, after upgrading, the Queen of Blades strength and speed will be slightly improved. Tip, after upgrading, the talent heart of the Zerg will be strengthened. Within a range of 1,500 meters, the combat effectiveness of the interstellar Zerg will increase by 30%. Tip, after upgrading, the skill kinetic energy impact is strengthened and can cause greater damage to the target unit. Tip, congratulations to Lord Subai, your 50 LV3 springtail experience points are full and your level has been upgraded to LV4. Tip, after upgrading, the strength, speed, and sharpness of the claws of the springtails will be slightly improved. Tip, congratulations to Lord Subai, all your Hydralisk experience points are full and your level has been upgraded to LV4. Tip, after upgrading, the Hydralisk strength, attack speed, and bone needle lethality will be slightly improved. Okay. Everything has been upgraded. Subai's eyes lit up. View the details of the military unit. The combat power of level LV4 Springtails has reached level 6, the level LV4 Hydralisk has a combat power of level 7, after upgrading, Kerrigan's talent, Heart of the Zerg, the range has changed from the original 1000 meters to the current 1500 meters. The buff that increases combat effectiveness increases by 10 percentage points, reaching 30%. Moreover, her combat power level has been increased to level 12, it seems that there will be more monsters to kill in the future. not only can you obtain a large amount of resources, but you can also quickly upgrade the level of your troops, allowing the territory to rapidly develop its strength. After a few days, Subai has figured out how to quickly improve his strength. Actually, it's very simple: kill more monsters, collect more resources, upgrade more territory buildings. In this way, the development of the territory can form a good positive cycle. This truth is not complicated, and many new lords should understand it. However, many of them are stuck at the first step. Killing more monsters sounds easy, but it is difficult to do. Just like the kobold troops that were just wiped out, if the lord does not have strong combat power, he will definitely be unable to defeat them. Those who are awakened are of ordinary and excellent quality and do not dare to go to war with the large number of local forces. Only when the lord's mark is of excellent and epic quality will it have some strength and be able to challenge the local forces. Only legendary level lords will have stronger combat effectiveness at the current stage. As for the level of myth, there are only a handful of them in the world, at the very least. None of the new lords who awakened in the Dragon Kingdom this year have appeared. At this moment, bursts of whimpering sounded. Follow the sound and look. Subai then discovered that 10 springtails and 2 hydralisks had been injured in the previous battle, with bloody wounds opening on their bodies, but, since the insect queen is here, there is no need to worry. Return to the territory. Subai waved his hand. Instantly, within the territory, the 5 queens open their mouthparts and secrete a red protein liquid substance, which is spread on the wounds of springtails and hydralisks. Something miraculous happened. The bloody wound healed quickly on its own in just a few seconds. The scabs formed, fell off, and new skin grew. The 10 injured springtails and 2 hydralisks fully recovered their combat effectiveness and became lively and vigorous again. The Queen of Insects healing fluid is really powerful. From now on, with the Insect Queen here, the interstellar Zerg's continued combat effectiveness will be greatly enhanced. I just don't know. If I get injured accidentally, can this Insect Queen heal me? Subai murmured to himself, with a hint of thinking in his eyes. Logically speaking, it should be possible. The skill introduction of healing liquid is to provide healing to friendly biological units. He also belongs to the category of biological beings, but the difference is between humans and interstellar Zerg. However, a gentleman does not stand under a dangerous wall. With the protection of the powerful interstellar Zerg, how could he be easily injured? Suddenly, 2 lines of information from the system popped up. Tip: the new Lord Subai has killed a certain number of kobolds and won the metal kobold hunter. Tip: it has been placed in the storage space, please check it yourself. Metal kobold hunter. Interesting. Subai checked the storage space. Metal kobold hunter. Quality ordinary. Introduction. After wearing it, the attack power of the Lord's soldiers will increase by 10% when fighting kobolds, but the hatred of the kobolds in the land of redemption towards the Lord will increase by 5%. Current status, not worn. Nothing to say, you must wear it. Subai chose to wear it without hesitation. The current status of the kobold hunter metal has changed. Current status, worn. A mere 5% of the hatred value doesn't matter at all. He even wished that the hatred value would increase and the kobolds would come in larger numbers. In this way, it will be much faster to accumulate resources and upgrade soldiers. The next step is to eradicate the roots, find the kobold chief's tribe, and destroy it. Chapter 46 Evolution Sequence, Deep Groove Spines. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Subai led Kerrigan, springtails, and hydralisks to leave the territory and move forward quickly, following the footprints of the kobolds. About 20 minutes later, a tribe of kobolds appeared in front of them. There are only a few kobolds here and there. When they saw a large number of springtails and hydralisks, they did not hesitate, turned around, and fled madly behind. Because the number was small, Subai was too lazy to pursue them. Go through the gate and into the kobold tribe. As you can see, most of them are thatched houses, but they are sturdier than those in the kobold village. There is also a part of the house made of stone. Without exception, everything stinks inside, nothing of value at all. Tip: this small kobold tribe has lost its ability to resist. Do you want to destroy its territory stone? Tip: destroy the enemy's territory stone and you will receive rewards. Tip: the higher the level and strength of the target territory, the more generous the rewards will be. Destroy. Subai spoke quickly, such a dirty, smelly place must be destroyed immediately, otherwise, looking at it will make you feel uncomfortable. Next moment. Boom! Thatched and stone houses began to collapse, in all directions, bursts of smoke and dust were rising. After a while, this small kobold tribe was reduced to ruins. Subai felt a sense of pleasure inexplicably in his heart. Is this what conquest feels like? How can the taste be described as refreshing? Tip: you have successfully destroyed the territory stone of the small kobold tribe, and the small kobold tribe has been destroyed. Tip: after destroying the small kobold tribe, the reputation of your own territory will be improved. Tip: reputation value plus 40. Current reputation value, 50. Current title, unknown. Tip: after destroying the territory stone of the small kobold tribe, you will get 2,000 wood, 1,000 stone, and 25 primary energy gems. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the amount of wood obtained has increased by 10 times. Wood plus 20,000, congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of stones obtained has increased by 10 times. Stone plus 10,000, congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of primary energy gems obtained has increased by 10 times. Elementary energy gem plus 250. Fuck, so many resources. Cool. Subai was immediately ecstatic, with a thick smile on his face. 20,000 wood, 10,000 stone, it is really developed. For other newly promoted lords, if they want to obtain so many resources at once, it may be even harder than reaching the sky. I have to say, the feeling of cheating is really great. It can be seen from this that the way to harvest resources, besides letting worker bees collect them, is to destroy the territory of local forces. Moreover, the latter is more efficient, faster, and more comfortable. However, the reputation value has been increased by 40 points, but the title has not changed, and it is still unknown. Immediately afterwards, Subai led the soldiers and left the ruins of the kobold tribe. Search for the serpentine beast. He sent out springtails and looked around, cast the net wide and catch more fish. At last, after half an hour, found 5 mutated pythons, ordinary quality, level LV3. It was as easy as crushing an ant, and the battle was over in an instant. Weak beast soul. Quantity 5. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 15. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 150. Tip: explode the item and get 5 snake teeth. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of snake teeth obtained has increased by 10 times. Snake fang plus 50. Great! The number of snake teeth is complete, and the evolutionary sequence of the hydralisk can be upgraded. Subai looked happy and led the soldiers back to the territory. As for the corpses of the 5 mutated pythons, they became the meal of springtails, so naturally they could not be taken back to be transformed into biomass. 15 minutes later, within the territory, Subai moved his steps and came to the front of the evolution cavity, open the evolution sequence and select upgrade. Biomass 400. Snake fang, 30. The 16 hydralisks stopped in place, and the size of the bone plates under the carapace increased. 3 minutes later, system prompts appear in front of you. Congratulations to Lord Subai, the hydralisk evolution sequence, deep grooved spines has been successfully upgraded. See if anything changes. Subai checked the detailed attributes of the hydralisk. Hydralisk, level, LV4. Race, interstellar Zerg. Quality, the ultimate myth. Weapons, 3-edged sickle / melee, bone needle / long range attack. Talent, super metabolism. Skill, none. Evolutionary sequence, deep groove spine. Improve the genetic sequence of the hydralisk to strengthen the bone plate under its carapace, make the bone needles grow sharper, and increase the attack range by 50%. Combat power. Level 7.5. Loyalty, 100. Introduction. There are countless armor-piercing spine needles hidden in the bone plates under the hydralisk carapace, which can be fired at enemies attacking from the air or the ground. The spine needles are very fast and can easily penetrate special steel plates several centimeters thick. The combat power has improved, which is great. Subai nodded slightly, with a look of satisfaction in his eyes. Although the Hydralisk's combat power level has only increased by 0.5 levels, but sometimes, just looking at the numerical value is not enough, the attack range is increased by 50%, which is a huge improvement to the overall combat effectiveness of the army. When cooperating with Springtails, you can be more at ease. At the same time, several goblins appeared near the small kobold tribe destroyed by Subai. They are short in stature and have scarlet eyes. The long pointed ears and dark green skin are the most distinctive signs. When they saw that the once lively kobold tribe had turned into a desolate ruin, these goblins widened their eyes and couldn't help talking. The kobold tribe will be destroyed, and even the territory stone will be destroyed. It's really an eye-opener. Our tribe has always been hostile to the kobold tribe. The destruction of this kobold tribe is really great news. There is a human sent here. It seems to be the work of a human lord. Let's go back quickly and tell the centurion the news. Several goblins turned around and galloped toward the southeast. Half an hour later, they entered a military camp. Report. The kobold tribe in the northwest was destroyed by the human lord and has been completely destroyed. What? The goblin centurion suddenly stood up, his face full of solemnity. Lord Centurion, why don't you look happy? The lips are dead and the teeth are cold. Don't you understand this truth? The goblin centurion stared into the distance. The expansion speed of human lords is so rapid. I'm afraid it won't be long before the military camps we established are discovered. Send out scouts to find out carefully what the strength of the human lord who destroyed the kobold tribe is. Chapter 47 Elf Warlock, Self-Destructing Demon Pig. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The other side. I hope today's recruitment can once again be favored by the goddess of luck. Bai Mengyu stood at the door of the barracks, her beautiful eyes filled with a trace of expectation. 1 minute later, a female elf wearing a white robe and holding a wooden staff came out. Elf Warlock, level, LV2, race, blood elf, quality, legend, weapon, wooden staff, equipment, elf cloak, racial talent, night vision, talent, power of wood, this is a blood elf who is proficient in wood magic. If he fights in the jungle, he will have stronger fighting power, skill, power of nature, communicate with the power of nature and summon 4 tree warriors to fight cooperatively, lasting 1 hour, combat power, level 3, loyalty, 95, introduction. The magicians of the blood elves have an incomparable affinity with nature and can cast wood magic to cause huge blows to the enemy. Great, it's a brand new unit, and it still has the ability to attack with magic. Bai Mengyu smiles sweetly, and the pair vortex sinks lightly. The system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded again. Congratulations to Lord Bai Mengyu, your newly recruited unit Elf Warlock has been strengthened at the legendary level, and its number has been increased to 6. Immediately afterwards, 5 more Elf Warlocks came out. They all looked at Bai Mengyu, performed a chest-caressing ceremony, and said in unison, I have met the Lord. Welcome. Bai Mengyu beamed. In this way, the mix of troops in the territory will be more perfect. Melee combat, range attack, magic. Even if you go out at night and encounter that mysterious monster that is immune to magic, you will finally be able to fight it. Suddenly, she stared at the blue sky and whispered to herself. Humph, Su Bai, you must persevere. Although you may be hiding something from me, considering that we are childhood sweethearts and good friends, I will forgive you. Once you pass the novice stage, I will send some elf warlocks to station in your territory to ensure the absolute safety of your territory. You protected me when I was a kid, now it's my turn to protect you. Speaking of this, Bai Mengyu's eyes showed a hint of tenderness. With thoughts of Su Bai, he led his soldiers to fight out of the territory. At the same time, Zhao Xiangtian stood at the door of the barracks, looking at the 6 orc pig cavalrymen walking out in front of them. A satisfied smile appeared on their faces. Although no new troops have been recruited, the orc pig cavalry is very powerful. In addition, the number recruited today is 2 more than yesterday. I already have 10 orc pig cavalry, which can be regarded as a considerable fighting force. Su Bai, now you have been thrown out of 10 streets by me. I hope you survive the novice period so that you can see how awesome your squad leader is. Zhao Xiangtian grinned, almost bursting into laughter. In a class in high school, only Su Bai and himself successfully awakened the Lord's Mark. Coincidentally, they are all epic-level Lord Marks. Su Bai is the most rubbish Zerg, and he didn't bother to pay attention to it at first. But who would have thought that he would be the first to upgrade the territory level to LV2? How can I bear this? This guy just has better luck. He must have gotten a treasure chest by accident or something. What I awakened is the Beast Tribe, which is famous for its strength. You must be the lord out of the entire high school, the most powerful one, even. He wants to break into the top 100 of the new lord rankings. Thinking of this, Zhao Xiangtian felt high-spirited and full of energy. Leading the orc infantry and orc pig cavalry, they left the territory and went out to kill monsters. Now, the Japanese Lord Koishikawa Shun looked sad, his eyebrows twisted into knots. Baga, I was influenced by those hateful aborigines yesterday and wasted a lot of time. What should I do if I meet them again today? It's hateful that the lord of the mighty Japanese Empire would fall into such an aggrieved situation, that the powerful magic unleashed by the high-quality, 14th level elf high priest left quite a shadow in Shun Koishikawa's heart. There are also hundreds of high elf soldiers, who are also a force that cannot be underestimated. It's a bit difficult to deal with just the Hellfire and 12 demon dogs. Don't think so much now, let's recruit soldiers. Koishikawa Shun looked irritable and walked to the door of the barracks. 1 minute later, a pig-like creature ran out with thick short legs. It was green all over and its belly was round, like an inflated balloon. Nanny! Such an ugly monster, must he be a soldier of the demon clan? It's obviously a pig. Koishikawa Shun rubbed his eyes, extremely shocked. He quickly checked the details of the arms. Self-exploding demon pig. Level, LV2. Race, demon. Quality, legend. Weapon, explosive body. Talent, self-destruction. Skill, rolling. The self-destructing demon pig curled up its limbs, transformed into a rolling ball, and launched a suicidal charge towards the enemy. Combat power, level 8. Loyalty, 90. Introduction, the reason why the self-destructing demon pig has a bulging belly is because it knows that it may die at any time, so it eats crazily and makes its belly very bloated. Then, enhanced by the legendary Lord's Mark, 9 more bulging self-destructing demon pigs came out of the barracks. Yoshi! He actually has level 8 combat power. Now, even if I meet the elf high priest again, I can blow him up directly. The great Japanese Empire has prosperous military fortunes. No one can stop me from moving forward. Koishikawa Shun was immediately ecstatic and extremely excited. He was full of fighting spirit and led his Hellfire, 12 demon dogs, and 10 self-destructing demon pigs to leave the territory in a mighty manner. As soon as I went out, I walked for about 5 minutes. They met the elf high priest wearing golden armor, as well as hundreds of high elf swordsmen and archers. It's really a narrow road for enemies. Koishikawa Shun had sinister eyes and a fierce look on his face. The brave high elf soldiers avenged the deaths of their clansmen. The elf high priest shouted loudly, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Enemies are extremely jealous when they meet. In an instant, the two sides were at war with each other, and the atmosphere became tense. You heinous natives! There is no need to exist at all. After recruiting 10 powerful self-destructing demon pigs, Koishikawa Shun felt confident and his voice became particularly loud. This human being has been infected by the devil's breath. Kill him. Kill all the devils under his command. The elf high priest took out the crystal ball and began to chant obscure and complex elf spells. The war breaks out. Chapter 48 Territory Upgrade, Fledgling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kill. The high elf swordsman raised his sword and charged forward. The high elf archers behind raised their bows and launched a volley of fire. No. He's going to release magic. Koishikawa Shun's expression changed. Order 4 self-destructing demon pigs to rush towards the elf high priest. The remaining 6 self-destructing demon pigs launched an attack on the charging high elf soldiers. High in the sky, arrows rained down from the sky. Coming towards you, Hellfire roared, jumped forward, waved his strong and huge arms, and knocked down all the arrows. At the same time, the self-destructing demon pig used its skill, roll. Their limbs curled up, as if they turned into a rolling ball, rushing forward at extremely fast speeds, between the electric light and flint. Boom! 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 Explosions sounded one after another. More than 20 high elf swordsmen were killed on the spot. The elf high priest looked shocked, and the spell he was chanting was not over yet, for self-destructing demon pigs had already rushed over. Their bodies began to expand rapidly, exuding bursts of astonishing aura. Protect the high priest. Several high elf archers moved forward and rushed forward. Next moment. Boom! 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 Point 4 explosions sounded. The high elf archers who rushed up were killed instantly. The elf high priest was blown away, spitting out blood, and fell heavily to the ground, with the crystal ball in his hand shattering. 12 demon dogs launched a counterattack. Hellfire suddenly jumped out, wielding a stone iron fist, sweeping everything. Retreat! Retreat! The elf high priest clutched his chest, his eyes filled with sadness. The surviving high elf soldiers tightened their defense lines, lifting up the seriously injured elf high priest. He quickly fled towards the rear. Go against my lord of the Japanese Empire, this is what you will get. Koishikawa Shun was so proud that his nose almost turned up to the sky. However, he didn't see it. The elf high priest's eyes were filled with hatred and malice. Tip: the materials for upgrading the evolution chamber are ready. Do you want to upgrade? Looking at the prompt information in front of him, Subai silently muttered. Upgrade. Wood 2000. Stone 2000. Iron block 2000. Biomass 400. The dark purple evolution chamber began to surge. The huge skeleton expanded and grew rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. As the size increases, more wriggling epidermis grows. 1 minute later, congratulations to Lord Subai, the evolution cavity has been successfully upgraded. The evolution chamber level reaches LV3. The new evolutionary sequence has been opened, please check it yourself. Subai couldn't wait and opened the evolution sequence, evolutionary sequence, insect queen. Hatch creep tumor. Creating a creep tumor can extend the range of the creep and greatly improve the queen's mobility. All soldiers of the interstellar Zerg can move faster on the carpet. Need. Biomass 400. Snake gallbladder 40. We have 400 biomass, all we need is the snake gallbladder. It seems we have to continue killing snake beasts. Subai murmured to himself, with the bonus of the prayer buff, you only need to kill a small number of snake beasts to explode a large amount of snake bile. The effort required is to go out to the territory and search a lot. Incubating creep tumors and extending the creep range can make the queen's movement speed comparable to that of a hydralisk. In terms of speed, of course springtails are the fastest. After all, it possesses the talent of swiftness, if creep tumors are made in the future. And the number accumulates to a certain scale, the scope of the creep will be greatly extended. Just imagine, the land around the territory is all within the scope of the carpet, then the speed of springtails can be faster, whether it is cleaning up wild monsters, protecting worker bees, or dealing with emergencies, it will be more efficient and effective. At this time, the system's mechanical synthesized sound suddenly sounded. Tip: the territory upgrade resources are all available. Do you want to upgrade? Cool. Having harvested so many resources, I can level up quickly. Subai did not hesitate and confirmed the upgrade. Wood 6000. Stone 4000. Iron block 2000. Soul 500. Elementary energy gem 300. The entire territory was enveloped in a faint white light. The scope of the territory begins to expand, and the outer protective light film expands accordingly. The small wooden house in the middle transformed into a small stone house. 5 minutes flew by. Congratulations to Lord Subai, the territory has been successfully upgraded. The territory level reaches LV5. Territorial area increased by 1,000 square meters. Reputation increased by 50 points. Tip: the current title has changed. Subai quickly opened the territory information and looked carefully. Territory, Subai. Level, LV5. Area, 3,000 square meters. Completeness, 100%. Reputation value, 100. Title, Freshman. Territorial buildings, Hatchery LV4, Manor LV3, Evolution Chamber LV3, Warning Arrow Tower LV1, .8000500. 20006004000. From being unknown to being a fledgling, it's a bit interesting. Su-Bai couldn't help but laugh. At this time, the system sounded again. Tip: the tidal fresh off the boat will attract the attention of local forces within a radius of 5,000 meters. It's a good thing to attract the attention of the indigenous people. Su-Bai grinned and smiled a little happily. If the natives attack the territory, the warning tower can be used to kill all sides. This is a good thing that can make you rich quickly, so of course you have to be happy. Now, I have sold 10,280. Su-Bai plans to recruit 100 springtails at once after upgrading the hatchery. However, it was found that the resource was stuck, not enough iron. Sol, 10280. Wood, 18,000. Stone, 4,100. Iron, 500. Elementary energy gem, 210. Biomass, 3080. Su-Bai glanced at the resources page. In addition to iron blocks and primary energy gems, there were many other resources. Through his mind perception, he ordered the worker bees to focus on finding and collecting iron blocks, followed by stones, and leave wood alone. Let's wait until the hatchery reaches level 5 before recruiting springtails. It's not too late anyway. Then, a whole afternoon, Su-Bai led the soldiers to kill wild monsters while protecting worker bees from mining. Wait until the sun sets and night falls before returning to the territory. After several hours of hard work, it was natural to gain a lot. Su-Bai stared at the prompt information in front of him, but not found. 2 green-skinned goblins with scarlet eyes and pointed ears crouched down and lurked around the territory. After careful investigation, he quietly left. Chapter 49: Soldiers Break, Hidden Achievements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tip: your 2 worker bees discovered a micro mine and collected 700 iron blocks. Congratulations to the Lord. With the strengthening of the prayer effect, the number of iron blocks obtained has increased by 10 times. Iron plus 7,000. Tip: your 2 young worker bees discovered a natural stone pit and collected 400 stones. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of stones obtained has increased by 10 times. Stone plus 4,000. Very good. The worker bees are really awesome. Now that we have collected iron blocks, we can upgrade the building. Su-Bai nodded slightly, with a look of satisfaction in his eyes. He walked to the front of the hatchery and muttered silently, upgrade, wood 4000. Stone 3000. Iron block, 3000. Elementary energy gem, 200. A faint purple glow enveloped the hatchery. The biomass and creeping skin covering it began to grow wildly, and the size expanded. 1 minute later. Congratulations to Lord Su-Bai, the hatchery was successfully upgraded. Hatchery level reaches LV5. After the upgrade, the free recruitment period of the hatchery has been shortened by 1 hour. From the original 21 hours, it has become the current 20 hours. Now, the initial level of the newly recruited springtails is level 5. Let's see how many resources are left. Su-Bai glanced at the resource page. Sol, 10280. Wood, 14,000. Stone, 5,100. Iron, 4,500. Elementary energy gem, 10. Biomass, 3080. He did not hesitate and immediately chose to start recruiting. Directly consumed 10,000 souls. Sol 10000. The inside of the hatchery began to surge, exuding bursts of unique aura. Instantly, one after another, strong springtails ran out of it. It took 3 minutes for all the 100 newly recruited springtails to appear in front of Su-Bai's eyes. So many springtails, it's so cool. If we continue at this rate, it won't be long before a sea of insects will form. Sweeping across the land of redemption is just around the corner. Su-Bai looked excited, with a thick smile on his lips. At this moment, the territory already has 170 springtails, 16 hydralisks, 5 insect queens, plus the powerful hero blade queen. With such amazing strength, it is easy to survive the beast wave after the novice stage. When the novice period is over, you must lead the interstellar insect swarm, expand your territory, and sweep away the lords of other countries, at this moment. The sound of system machinery sounded from my ears. Tip, congratulations to the new Lord Subai, for becoming the first lord among all the new lords this year to have more than 100 soldiers, triggering the hidden achievement strength in numbers. Tip, obtain the exclusive reward of the hidden achievement, the building blueprint, the spire. Fuck. A hidden achievement was triggered again, and a building blueprint was awarded. Springtails. I love you. Ha ha ha. Subai was immediately ecstatic, and the corners of his mouth turned up with joy. For other lords, architectural blueprints are very precious items, but he was able to obtain 2 buildings in a row within 4 days. This was really lucky, of course. In addition to luck, it also benefits from the invincibility of the interstellar Zerg. Subai quickly took out the newly obtained architectural blueprint from the storage space and looked at it carefully. Blueprint, spire, quality, the ultimate myth, unique, exclusive building for the interstellar Zerg, function. Start the recruitment plan for interstellar Zerg flying creatures, requires, 5,000 wood, 3,000 iron blocks, 3,000 stones. I rely on. It turns out to be the Air Force, am I right? So strong. Oh my god, Subai's pupils shrank sharply, and he was so surprised that there was a loud thunder above his head. All kinds of flying creatures in the land of redemption are high-level soldiers. Facing ground troops, flying creatures have a natural and absolute advantage. Not only can it cross various terrains, it can also launch unexpected surprise attacks on enemies. If the ground troops do not have anti-air capabilities, then they can only be beaten in vain, and there is no way. Another point is that with the Air Force, you can go further, even places such as cliffs, islands in the water, mountaintops, etc., which are difficult for land troops to reach, can be easily reached by the Air Force. There is a high chance of discovering special creatures, relics, treasure chests, resources, and more. It plays an extremely significant role in exploring unknown areas in the land of redemption. Therefore, if the territory can have flying units, it will be a huge blessing to the overall strength. If we encounter the same kobold warriors, kobold giants, and kobold chieftains as before, they will definitely get beaten in vain. There are enough resources. Build immediately. Wood 5000. Iron block 3000. Stone 3000. A huge light group appeared out of thin air, emitting an extremely dazzling light. You can vaguely see a tower-like building inside, which is gradually taking shape. Time passed by minute. The outline of the building in the light group became increasingly clear. At last, 5 minutes later, the light dissipated. A dark purple tower-like building appeared in front of you, 8 meters in diameter and about 20 meters high. The lower 2/3 are composed of strong upright skeletons. The skeleton supports a circular nest, wrapped in biomass and wriggling skin. Look at this appearance, it's really domineering. Subai focused his gaze, and lines of information popped up. Minaret, level, LV1, quality, the ultimate myth, unique, exclusive building for the interstellar Zerg, introduction. This tower-structured organism can provide the necessary flight gene sequences for the hatchery. It is actually equivalent to the flying troop union of the interstellar Zerg. Function, start the recruitment plan for interstellar Zerg flying creatures. Tip, you can consume 3 recruitment opportunities in the hatchery and conduct a special recruitment, and you will definitely get interstellar Zerg flying creatures. There is no doubt about the power of the Air Force. By consuming 3 recruitment opportunities in the hatchery, you can definitely recruit an Air Force. It's very worth it. We can start special recruitment just 1 day before the beast wave breaks out. Subai murmured to himself, with a hint of thinking in his eyes. Today is the 4th day of coming to the land of redemption. In the next 3 days, 3 recruitment opportunities from the hatchery can be consumed to start special recruitment. If you can add flying troops and the powerful hero Blade Queen, surviving the beast tide will be like playing without any difficulty, reaching the top of the new lord ranking list must be a sure shot. Chapter 50 Head-on Collision, Flaming Goblin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, the night is deep, thick dark clouds squeeze the sky, and the moonlight was completely blocked. The vast expanse of wilderness is filled with dense darkness. Subai stood at the door of the small stone house in the middle. The territory stones inlaid on the eaves gave off a faint light, illuminating his resolute face. Outside the territory is endless darkness, mixed with the shrill roars of ferocious beasts, which seems mysterious and profound, but in Subai's eyes, not only was there no fear, but there was a flickering light. Nearly 200 springtails surrounded the small stone house, lying on the ground to rest. The larger hydralisks and insect queens were clustered together, their bodies bent down, and they seemed to have entered a deep sleep. Kerrigan was crouched aside, playing with a springtail. In this situation, Subai only felt a strong sense of security in her heart. He looked far into the distance. Under a pair of sword-shaped brows, there was a pair of eyes as bright as stars in the dark night. The novice period is over. After surviving the beast tide, the heroes are divided and all races are fighting for hegemony. The real challenge has just begun. Until then, you can truly experience the majestic waves of the land of redemption. Yes. Subai has begun to expand. Of course, he has ample capital, with the blessing of the Queen of Blades, the powerful interstellar Zerg, and the ultimate myth, the wild monsters around the territory, such as Steppenwolf, Black Bear, Mammoth, Diamond Tiger, etc., are all too weak. He began to look forward to exploring the land of redemption more deeply in the future. Get through the novice stage as soon as possible and become an official lord, and you will be able to make great changes in the land of redemption and write a gorgeous chapter. The sky is high enough for birds to fly, and the sea is wide enough for fish to leap. That kind of life is colorful, silent all night. The next day, the rising sun rises in the east, and the morning light begins to dawn. As soon as Subai opened his eyes, the system announcement of the land of salvation appeared in front of his eyes. Announcement: Dear new lords, today is your 5th day in the land of redemption. There are still 2 days left before the novice period ends. Announcement: The novice period is over and disaster strikes. The huge beast tide will attack the territories of the new lords. Announcement: All new lords are requested to improve the strength of their territories as soon as possible to resist the upcoming beast tide. Announcement: If the territory is destroyed, it is declared a failure to resist the beast tide, and the lord will die immediately. It's a new day, keep fighting. Subai hummed a little tune, put on his clothes, and walked out of the small stone house. The text on the notice: Disaster is coming. Huge beast tide. It looks scary, but in fact it can only scare the new lords who are not strong enough. For Subai, it was naturally stress-free and very relaxing. He even wished that the attack of the tide of beasts would be even more violent. In this way, resources can be obtained quickly. Springtails and hydralisks can also gain a lot of experience and quickly level up. Kerrigan, good morning. Kerrigan had woken up early and was honing her combat skills and psychic powers. Hearing Subai's voice, she stopped what she was doing and said, Lord, do you need your queen to provide wake-up service? No, I'm fine. Subai didn't hesitate, shaking his head like a rattle. I'm still young. I had just graduated from high school and was in the stage of growing up. The quality of sleep every day must be guaranteed. At this time, the system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded in my ears. Tip: the number of free recruitments in the barracks has been refreshed. Current free times: 1. Tip: you can consume 3 recruitment opportunities in the hatchery and conduct a special recruitment, and you will definitely get interstellar Zerg flying creatures. Consume this recruitment opportunity and conduct special recruitment. Subai said quickly without thinking. Tip: 1 ordinary recruitment opportunity has been consumed so far. Tip: it only takes 2 more times to start special recruitment. It will take another 2 days before special recruitment can be used. In other words, on the 7th day, flying creatures can be recruited in the hatchery. I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder what kind of troops we will get. Subai suppressed the restlessness in his heart and came to the door of the manor. Upgrade. The system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded again. Tip: insufficient primary energy gems, upgrade failed. I'm actually stuck on resources. He glanced at the resources page. Soul, 280. Wood, 9,000. Stone, 2,100. Iron, 1,500. Elementary energy gem, 10. Biomass, 3080. There are only 10 primary energy gems left. We must kill some high-level monsters before they can be exploded. Then, Subai started recruiting, obtain a worker bee, give an order to let 3 worker bees and 2 young worker bees go out to search and collect resources, focus on looking for iron and stone, and leave wood alone for now. Kerrigan, Springtails, and Hydralisks, follow me out and clean out the wild monsters. Subai was in high spirits and led his troops to leave the territory, look for high-level monsters, as well as snake-like beasts, at the same time, inside the goblin military camp. Report. It has been discovered that the territory of the human lord is due west. At this moment, he is leading his soldiers out and heading toward the southeast. The goblin centurion suddenly stood up, a murderous intent flashing in his eyes. He put on his armor and took out a dark red long knife from the weapon rack. Now my family, its heart must be different, the first to strike first is to gain the upper hand. Pass my order to all the goblins in the camp to assemble quickly. Soon, the entire military camp became boiling. Nearly 150 goblins, led by the goblin centurion, strode forward in the direction of Subai. In addition to the green-skinned goblins holding spears, there are dozens of extremely special beings in this army. They are taller, nearly 1.7 meters tall. With his fiery red skin and hair, he looked out of place with the surrounding goblins, the other side. Why is it a little weird today? I didn't meet a single beast. Subai looked puzzled and couldn't help scratching his head. Perhaps there are some powerful local forces that have scared away the surrounding beasts. Kerrigan looked around and responded. At this time, an army of goblins appeared in front of the road, heading straight for this direction. Kerrigan, you are absolutely right. Then, Subai shouted, Springtails, Hydralisks, get ready for battle. The one who comes is not good and is aggressive. It's impossible to come here for friendly exchanges. Red-skinned goblins are a bit rare. Subai looked over and saw lines of messages popping up. Fire Goblin, quality, excellent. Level, LV7. Introduction, the goblin was accidentally infected with the power of fire. After mutation, he mastered the ability to attack with fire.